Most of the few people who follow me, most of the few people who follow me know that I lost a struggle for recognition that I had been tortured by the Israelis. The specifics are that a nerve agent was given to me in the form of poison that was manufactured by an Israeli prison psychiatrist when I was just a child. And they battered and tortured me and forced me to ingest it, which when they wrote about it, they spelled ingest, INJEST. So my issue today is to explain what it means to lose such an issue to the mendicants in Pennsylvania. I'm an honors student in college. The reason why such two worlds can coexist is that the Israeli lobby among the mendicants in Pennsylvania don't bother with trials. They use me for pornography in secret. They threatened to kill me and kill my loved ones, and they attacked and raped individuals who supported me and murdered people who supported me. And they poisoned me again and again in the mouth, in the heart. I have Parkinson's, all without trial, on the openly asinine basis of the claim made by Robert Fripp and John Schulman that an ex girlfriend's virginity proves that I wanted to rape her. And they didn't bother with anything other than producing their own psychotic phobias and projecting them into my situation through voiceovers and impingements until I finally responded. Are you suggesting I should have raped her? Is that what you're saying? And that was their evidence. That was the sum total of their evidence. And like the Palestinians, I have no power to stop Israelis. Absolutely none. And of course, I blame myself horribly when they poached another innocent girl with these nerve agents. I'd have no power to stop them, and yet they'd go ahead and do it again. Well, it traces back to the Democratic Party's long-standing tolerance of what they consider a veterans escalation system. See, when George Wallace was very popular among the mendicants of Pennsylvania, very popular, 1968, the time of the Revolution #9, when Bobby Kennedy and Martin Luther King were killed. George Wallace's people would say, send them a message. And this sort of style is still in vogue. Giving me Parkinson's was their way of sending me a message. The difference is they have an outreach program now because the blacks in the NAACP and military services help them bomb Iraq and so on. And George Bush can give them favors through the media and through professional um, appointments and so on. So the old crowd that used to burn crosses is still at it. They still threaten to poison you if you resist them. They still threaten to kill and terrorize. I mean, the Seattle left is involved in this. They do this sort of thing in the name of Bernie Sanders. I don't really, it's not that I credit that there's any rational basis. They're just a psychotic idea. They're sort of psychotically fixate on the idea that they had the right to support Israeli propaganda in favor of manufacture of child pornography. Because I'm not liberal enough, I'm not Jericho enough, I'm not pro-black enough, I'm not this enough, I'm not that enough. I'm sheltered white suck because I wouldn't forgive the uh, murdering Hun who brutally tortured me when they said, we want you to go out, go forth, and forgive, demanded the NAACP. This is a sort of psychotic Mendicant, Pennsylvania, that just exists. And to lose to them means that other innocent school children can be used for neurochemical experiments and taken prisoner by trafficking syndicates and correction syndicates that manufacture the poison. That's the issue. Try not to get too diverted by the production of the Holocaust being visited on Gaza and the love slavery we're supposed to um, profess for Israel in the name of Biden and Blinken. Don't get too diverted by that. What we're talking about is hard evidence that is an Israeli correction psychiatrist manufacturing a hypnotic chemical. Hard evidence that Peter Gabriel's attorneys were hired and brought in as a bully mob to enforce the claim that resistance to the inducements of this neurochemical proved the opposite of what it actually proved. In other words, that you didn't resist it, you were under the grip of it, and therefore the virginity of the poison crime actress proves that you wanted to rape her. What I said was, are you saying I should have raped you? Is that what you're saying? I was indignant. And so they went after a girl and blew her brains out so that she blew her mind out in a car. And this was their idea of soothsay poetry. The script they used was called I Am the Walrus. So naturally, they wanted to blow Mackenzie's mind out in a car. And no, Father Mackenzie wiping the dirt from his hands as he walks from the Gaza. No one was saved. This is intentional slave overtones from this eerie fascist network that goes by Mendicant, Pennsylvania. And they crawl up out of the hardware of the Second Amendment crowd who shoot up schools and then say, we swear fidelity to Trumpington. And so you have to be automatically scared of them because Biden and Bush won't like you if you don't realize that you can debate. You can say, no, I protest, no, I protest. But if you reach the point where you actually make a difference, you will be cut down by the send them a message sidebar of American terrorism, the bigot faction, which now includes the army of blackos. The bigot faction from he thinks he's going to get ahead. And don't think that these people like Putin mean any better. Putin goes, somebody's trying to make money. Somebody's trying to make money. He's a Russian billionaire. Who is he to say a deaf boy who has been tortured shouldn't be paid for his work? And this crowd actually ripper murdered a girl over a penny. That's Seattle left's contribution, the Bernie Sanders crowd's contribution to your moral comprehension about the mendicants of Pennsylvania. So, the fact that they did the whole thing without any kind of trial. They said, you put in 1 + 1. You put in +1. Putin +1. No, son. Without any evidence attributing any kind of meaning to that. Penis Gabriel said a neurotrauma that they implanted was evidence of rapid eye movement defiant trespass. What it really was a comatonic amnesia of being kidnapped and gassed, which I barely escaped in 6 inches of snow one day when I was wandering alone, afraid of these men finding me, and they pulled up in a stolen car and ordered me to get in. That's what Peter Gabriel calls date rape. That's what penis Jay Sinfield calls date rape. That's what he calls it. And when Mackenzie Shirella was blown away by a car bomb, a neurohypnotic car bomb, they called it premeditated murder. You can't make rhyme or reason out of Mendicant, Pennsylvania, and they don't expect you to. I mean, that's their whole gig, is to just cackle.